Disconnect. The truth about cell phone radiation, what industry has done to hide it, and how to protect your family. By Devra Davis, Ph.D., MPH. Narrated by Emily Durante. Copyright 2010 by Devra Davis. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Dutton, a member of Penguin Group USA Incorporated, and was produced in the year 2010 by Tantor Media Incorporated, which holds the copyright thereto. Forward. If that were true, we'd know about it. I once had a short conversation about health effects of cell phone radiation with the current and a past director of the National Cancer Institute at a cocktail party following a public talk. They both dismissed the topic offhand. First, there's never been any evidence that electromagnetic fields can affect DNA. Thus, they simply cannot contribute to cancer risk. Second, epidemiological studies have never documented an increased risk of brain tumors from cell phone use. And third, there has been no increase in the global number of brain tumors, which, surely, we'd have seen given the large number of people using cell phones today. Case closed. As this book will show you, just scratching the surface of what is known about health risks of cell phone electromagnetic radiation is enough to easily dismiss all three of these arguments. I knew that at the time. So what struck me was the degree to which these two brilliant men, outstanding doctors and world-class scientists, were utterly convinced that this was not a worthwhile area of scientific inquiry. The question in my mind continues to resonate to this day. How can this be? The best answer I've been able to come up with since then is that for most reasonable people, including the scientific leaders of our prestigious medical institutions, it is inconceivable that if cell phones caused health problems, we wouldn't already know about it. If it were true that these devices cause harm, we would know. I myself, a physician, a scientist, a patient being followed for a malignant brain tumor for the past 18 years, lived with exactly the same assumption. I used a cell phone just like everybody else. I had heard, like my NCI colleagues, of all the studies that had never found a convincing link between cell phone use and cancer risk. That seemed reassuring enough. I was convinced, as well, that such technology could not possibly be released on the enormous scale that it has reached today without governments having demanded proof that there could be no health hazards from the widespread use of a new type of microwave radiation that practically everyone would be intensely exposed to for decades. In fact, I had been using my cell phone for many years, in spite of being a brain tumor patient in remission, without any self-consciousness, until an impromptu dinner with the author of this book one summer evening in Pittsburgh. Dr. Davis had recently accepted to head a Center for Environmental Oncology at the university's Hillman Cancer Center, and somebody had suggested we should meet. I was intrigued by the intelligence and the charm of this veteran of many courageous scientific explorations into the link between industrial practices and disastrous public health consequences. Then, my cell phone, which at that time I was carrying in my pocket, rang loudly, and I noticed the horrified expression of my dinner mate when I answered the call by putting the phone directly to my ear. She practically stood up from her seat and shouted, "What? You of all people are not using an earpiece?" After I finished my call and gave her a quizzical look about her behavior, she asked me two plain questions that have remained engraved in my memory as the perfect conversation starter with anyone who thinks, like I did, that they know there cannot be a health problem with cell phone radiation. 1. Did you know that most cell phones come with a notice that says, "Do not hold closer than 1 inch from your body"? 2. Did you know that insurance companies refuse to provide coverage to cell phone companies and operators in case of claims of health damage from long-term operation of their devices? This is when I realized how little I really knew about the studies so often referred to in order to dismiss any type of health concern about cell phones, and how much I was going to have to learn. I didn't stop at what Dr.